Alright everybody, Logan is back in the long drive. If you remember, we had a couple of wrecks. We lost our dang blasted center console and we ended up at this double building, which I forgot to take the parking brake off. So let's go check this out really quick. We'll get right back into it today. So I hope everybody is doing well. What's this? Ooh, we got some spray. Huh. I don't think we need the spray. We're probably a little bit thirsty, so let's go ahead and get some water. Definitely thirsty. Probably need some food as well. Let's hope we have some. So let's see what's going on. There's some food over there. It's like a croissant. I normally don't pronounce it croissant, but sometimes it's just fun because it is a croissant. I will fight that one. One thing that always gets me is when people over pronounce things. Like, oh, that's how they say it in wherever. It's like, well, you're not from there. Like, I love cooking shows, and Giada is one of my favorites, but trying to hear her say mozzarella drives me up the wall. Ooh, maybe I can find a clip and put it in here so you can hear how she says mozzarella. It's absolutely insane. But College Humor a few years ago did a really good video, and it really starts coming off, at least in their video anyway, you know, it's a little over the top, almost a little racist, but it's quite hilarious. Ooh, okay, that could have been dangerous. So we got some gas here, which we always need. There's some, yeah, there's the food. Let's go ahead and grab this and eat it. And then there wasn't really anything else useful. Don't want to spend a whole lot more time because I am seeing rabbits in the distance. Let's dump this in and get out of here. Alright, so back on the road. And we are... Wait, what was that? What was in the road? That's a scrubby brush. I don't think we need that. Alright, so let's go. Oh, so Dustin had a good idea. Dustin, thank you for that. While I'm thinking about it, we're going to try it. So he noticed that not Christine. Dang nabbit, Christine's the car. That Safiya here was bouncing all around and seeming to clip through the floor. So we're going to take Safiya here for just a little while. We're going to put her in the basket so we don't lose her. And we're going to close this up and we're going to take off, see if removing Safiya helps. Because sometimes those things will clip through the ground and cause problems, and sometimes taking it off and putting it back fixes it. So we shall see. So yes, Dustin, good idea. Thank you for that. So, while I'm thinking about it too, I do just want to give a couple of shout outs to some of you guys that have been here with me from the beginning, that, you know, have stuck around, have watched, that, you know, leave me comments and hang out with me week after week. So Dustin, Jura Gaming, Lars, Chris, I really appreciate you guys. It means a lot to me that you guys keep coming back week after week and just hanging out with me. So, you know, that does seem to be helping. Like, I'm wibbling and wobbling back and forth, and it's not spun us out, and I guarantee we've buried the needle. Well, if we had a needle, it would be buried. So, oh. I just did that. Ow. Oh. Wow, okay. Alright, so that one was my fault, not the car. So how did that bumper get all the way there? Oof. Okay, so we'll take that. The engine ended up on top of the hood. Oh, it's merged into the hood. Okay. Didn't know that was even possible. Let's make sure that that thing's back. We'll get our bumper. Alright. Well, so now that we know it is doing better, maybe I should not be screwing around with it like that. That's probably a smart idea. I never claimed to be smart. I don't think I ever once claimed to be that, so... Alright. So, what I was saying, if we had a needle back there, I guarantee it would have been buried. What's that? It's like a bunker off in the distance. It probably doesn't have anything we need, but there will be some food. So we can check it out really fast. Oh, there it is. Lost it for a second. And actually a car spawned, so It's probably not one that has anything we need. Nope, it's the Volkswagen. So, and it's just a frame. It has absolutely nothing. Alright, so let's come in here really quick. We'll flip on these lights to give us a little protection. There's a door, there's a giraffe. I'm not seeing anything useful. I don't even see any food. Man, there's nothing here. Okay, that was a bit of a waste of time. Well, at least we know. It's better to have checked and known than ignored it and left behind something super useful. Alright, so we'll head back to the road. We'll have us asleep. Don't know if you guys saw it or not. I saw there have been a few views on them, or on it. I put out the first episode of BeamNG Parkour number 2. A lot of fun. I actually recorded all 3 of them already, and they're scheduled to be uploaded on Wednesdays. So you'll get like 3 weeks of BeamNG on Wednesday, and then of course our normal... What is this game? Long Drive. Wow. Normal Long Drive content on Saturday. So, hopefully something a little extra to look forward to if you enjoy the BeamNG stuff. I know it's not for everybody. It's quite different than Long Drive, at least even in just the way I present it, simply because this is us having a drive through the desert, taking a look at things that we find, and me just kind of talking to you guys, whereas the BeamNG is more just kind of guiding you all through, guiding you through it as I do it. So, it's probably not for everybody, but those are definitely a lot of fun. And the creator even reached out and was like, hey, thanks for checking it out, which is super cool. Seems to be a nice guy. He's done some really cool stuff. He's got some other... chocolate, but we don't need it. He's got some other things that I'm going to take a look at. I don't know if it's things that'll be video worthy, but definitely some things that I'm going to check out, if nothing else, just on my own time. Oh, did I check that for a headlight? I think it... nope, no headlights. Okay. So we need a headlight, and we need our instrument cluster back, and I think that's really it. So, yeah, like I said, don't think it's anything that'll turn into a regular series, but definitely worth checking out if you have Beam, which is a fantastic little... I would hesitate to just call it a game. I mean, I guess it's kind of a sandbox like Minecraft or Space Engineers, whatever, make your own fun sort of thing. Because there are a bunch of maps, and then of course there's a lot of mods that you can download and have fun with. But it's a fun little sandbox. You can get in there and drive some cars, see how they crash, do fun stuff. But yeah, definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you can get it on sale somewhere. Maybe through like, I don't know, oops, excuse me. Through like Humble Bundle or Steam, if it goes on like a Steam summer sale, which I think is coming up very soon. It is almost the end of June, so it is probably coming time for a Steam summer sale. But yeah, so that's coming on Wednesdays, like I said. And then of course, being Saturday, we had new episodes of Star Trek and Orville to talk about, which I do want to say one thing, and somebody else pointed it out on one of the Star Trek subreddits, I think it was, how funny it is that we've went from dark, gritty, you know, bleak Star Trek with Discovery and Picard to goofy, kind of fun Strange New Worlds, and then we went from goofy Seth MacFarlane humor in the Orville to a much more dark and gritty sci-fi tale. So it's almost like they just completely reversed roles. But that being said, this new season of the Orville has been killing it. I absolutely love it. It has been so good. They're only, I think, 4 episodes in, but each one has been really good. And Strange New Worlds, of course, is fantastic. I don't really want to give too many spoilers, but this episode really kind of harkens back to some of the campy, goofy original series and next-gen episodes that we all love. And just brings that back and modernizes it and gives it to us in a fun new format. And all of the cast seem to be just really enjoying playing these roles, and we get to see him act a little differently. The security chief, Noonien Singh, she completely reverses roles. Anson Mount as his character in this episode is a far cry from what we've seen as Captain Pike. And of course, I mean, he killed it. So far, I've not seen Inhumans. Apparently he was in it. He was in the Doctor Strange movie, which I recently watched. It was okay. But he was in it as one of the Inhumans, and apparently was in a movie or a show about Inhumans. I didn't watch it. But he reprised that role, and even what little bit of time he was on there was like, hey, it's Captain Pike. That's awesome. So I really enjoy Anson and his acting. So hopefully I'll get to see more of him in the future, and of course we'll be seeing him throughout Strange New Worlds, which does bring up an interesting thing. So we know that by the time Kirk takes over the Enterprise, Pike's accident has happened. We call it an accident. His disfiguration, his attack, his whatever you want to call it, has happened. So they've really kind of boxed themselves into a corner as far as how long the show can go on. Because somewhere when Discovery started, something, they said it was like a decade before Kirk and the Enterprise that we know. So this one comes along a couple, 3 years into Discovery. So that puts us 6, 7 years, maybe 8 to 10 if they were generous with calling a decade. Oh, there we go. Actually 10 years. So they've kind of boxed themselves into a corner as far as how long this show can run. That being said, I don't think there's been a Star Trek series last more than 7 seasons. TNG I think was 7, Voyager was 6 or 7 I think, Enterprise was on 4, DS9 was 6 or 7 I believe. So they don't have a great track record of trying to go 10, 15 years with a Trek series. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what their plans are for Pike and the Enterprise. One thing, I mean, the way that they've done it so far, if they can keep Alex Kurtzman away from it and keep the show going how it is, I would not right now, as it is. Ooh, holy crap, that's a lot of gas. Oh yeah. I would not be opposed to them doing a long-running series, finishing it off with nothing over there, with Pike's transformation accident again, whatever you want to call it, and then start almost back with early era Kirk and the Enterprise and the crew that we know, because at least with this show they've done a really good job. So if they can keep that up, if they don't screw it up, they can keep Kurtzman away from it and not turn it into another bleak, desolate Discovery type show, I think it has a potential for a really long run. And then they can, like I said, just transfer it back into the original Kirk era, which would be kind of cool. I don't know exactly how that would work. I mean, obviously they'd have to recast everybody, and I mean, they've got Spock and Uhura who have been doing a fantastic job. So that would be interesting. Don't know if it would quite work out the way that I would hope that it would or want it to, but we'll see. Alright, so what's in here? So that's water, that's empty. So I think let's go ahead, let's open this, and we're going to fill it up with 20 liters of gas. So coming across this in a garage was fantastic luck. We don't usually see that. I'm super paranoid though about rabbits because I cannot see anything. And that's happened before where I was in the middle of something like this and one just out of nowhere, boom. Oh, I saw shadow. I don't know if that's just the light changing from where the sun is moving. Okay, good. Ooh, that was scary. Okay. I don't like the way this water can is sitting on these mags and poking through, but not much I can do about it. I don't think there's anything else that we need. We're not... Let's go ahead and we can refill this though. There we go. So we've got food, we've got gas. Do we need any oil? There's another liter of gas. Might need some oil. I don't think we've checked the engine oil in a minute, so let's see how that's looking. Yeah, we can use about a half a liter, so that's fine. Coolant is only 0.2 of a liter down. So a headlight is about the only other thing I can think of that we might stumble across in here that we need. But in all honesty, I very rarely just see a random headlight laying inside of one of these garages. Sometimes you'll get lucky and see them in a car that's already in here, spawns outside, but I don't see one. So let's get down here before the rabbits swarm. Somebody did make a good comment that the rabbits are kind of like wasps, and I think that's actually a pretty decent comparison. Because if we're going off of my theory that the longer you stay in one place, the more they swarm, that kind of makes sense. You know, like they've got a hive, as it were, nearby, and so the longer you stay, the more defensive they get and try to say, hey, this is a threat, it's still here, it's not moving on. So they start sending more and more drones to check you out and to attack if needed. So that's kind of cool. It's a neat idea. Oh. Okay, there we go. So trying to drive in third person is not my strong suit. I try to do it because I feel like it gives you all more to look at as opposed to just staring out the windshield while I ramble on and drive in first person. But driving first person is much easier. I know some people love driving in third person all the time, but I find it a whole lot easier to drive in first. I feel like I just have more control, and I don't know why, but it just feels like it's more controllable in first person. Alright, so let's just keep on cruising. So, kind of like the early days, we once again have no idea how far we're going. So I think we're probably going to go, we're probably at about 20 minutes now, give or take, 15 to 20. So we'll probably go for 25-30 minutes, try to make this one a little bit shorter. A lot of them have been kind of running over lately, and I've been making you all endure 35-40 minute episodes. Which brings up a question that I've been meaning to ask. Do you guys like the 30 to 40 minute episodes? Would you rather see like shorter, say 15-minute episodes where we're not getting as much done, but because they're shorter, maybe I can upload a couple of times a week, or even still sit down, record a 30-minute episode, 45 minutes, whatever, and then cut it into 2 to 3 sections? So let me know what you think about that. I know personally, if I'm sitting down and listening to something and watching it while I do something else, which for me, that's kind of what I'm making. That kind of thing that I envision you guys are putting on while you're playing the game yourself, while you're, you know, doing some homework, browsing Reddit or whatever, listening, watching, while doing something else. So you just want to be able to throw that on for 20-30 minutes and not have to worry about constantly changing videos. So for me, I like those 30-40 minute ones where I can listen in. It's almost like a podcast episode, really, versus like a 10-minute deep intensive thing where I'm really paying attention. So that's kind of how I envision doing these. But if you guys would rather see... Oh, what's this? It's just a bus. We'll keep moving. So if you'd rather see, like I was saying, shorter, 10, 15-minute episodes, a couple of times a week, 3 times a week, versus a long 30 to 40 minute episode, let me know. We'll see what we can do. I mean, if it's something that you guys are going to enjoy more and would be willing to watch more often, that kind of thing, then cool, we'll do it. If you like the format that it is now, we'll keep doing that. If you don't like it, just let me know. I'm more than happy to change it up. Like I said, a lot of this is me just playing the game, hanging out with you guys, and talking. So if you don't want to watch it, let me know. We'll change it up. We'll make it different. We'll see what we got going on. Oh, Lord. So we have not seen one of these spawn since we swapped out for the tinted windows. So I'm really hoping that here soon we will find the white stripe variant with tinted windows. More than likely we won't get lucky enough to have that, and it'll end up being a white stripe non-tinted window, which is fine. I mean, the tinted windows look cool and all, but there we go. At the end of the day, I'm focusing more on the white stripe, which just looks so much better than the yellow. Or I guess gold is what they call it. But yeah, I'm focusing more on finding that white stripe to paint red as opposed to tinted windows. Which I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I tinted the windows on my Tacoma, and I was heading out to do some shopping last night, get some bleach, paper towels, normal household cleaning stuff, and I look out one of my windows off to the east and I'm like, man, it is really dark over there. Like, is there a storm out that way or something? And it dawns on me after like 5 seconds that I really am not the brightest bulb. Because I'm like, I tinted these windows. It's not as dark as it looks. And of course, I happened to be on the phone at the time. I was like, man, it looks like there's a storm brewing. Oh, nope, I'm just an idiot and I have tinted windows. So, yeah. Fun times. So I've been noticing, too, a lot of people with super tinted windows, like way beyond the legal limit for my area. Let's stop here for the night. Which, so depending on how you talk about it, so for me growing up, a 35% tint would mean it blocks 35% of the light. Apparently now that is different, and they've swapped it. So now but wait, hang on, is that right? What I would call a 35 blocks 35%. What they call a 35 now, I would call a 65, because it allows 35% of the light. So at some point it's swapped. I don't know when that happened, but in my area it's a 65% tint. You can block 65% of the light from coming in. Or modern day they call it a 35. It allows 35%. So I did mine, legal limit, as deep as they would go. And I've been seeing people out and about whose front windows are, I mean, we're talking limo tint. Like, you cannot see anything inside of that car. Which now I'm not going to get into whether that should be legal or not. That's, oh wow. Oh, that is super cool. We had a small gas station there and then a diner just like a 1/10 of a mile up the road. So everybody cross your fingers. Let's hope one of these spawns in. Come on, come on. White stripe variant Christine, white stripe Christine. I see a car, but it's a Volkswagen. But that's cool, it will have a headlight. Which I think that's all that we need is a headlight. So, we're living the minimalist lifestyle, so I'm not super concerned with taking all the extras just so we have spare headlights. I mean, and honestly, we're carrying a bunch of ammo, and we fired maybe, what, 5 shots in the last 10 episodes? So I mean, it's not like ammo is of great importance. Although, see, did I put a... So I've got that, and I've got some food. So I'm kind of thinking we take this basket and we put it in the back seat along with the other basket, and then we can put the ammo inside so it's easy to get to if we need it, right? That makes sense. Makes sense to me anyway. Okay, so then we take this guy, which is water. Which we are a little thirsty. We might go inside and grab some water. Although I probably should have just taken this basket instead of... So let me tell you what happened. Well, actually, I'm just going to preface this by saying we're getting right back on the road. There's some rabbits around. So we will get on the road and I'll kind of explain what happened. So, as we were recording, as we were playing, the entire system crashed. Some crazy error message that I've only seen twice. I looked it up. It basically came back to something was corrupted. Nobody really seems to have an answer why, because as we all know, Microsoft's error messages are usually garbage. So I had installed some software a few days ago that was meant to turn off the RGB on my graphics card. It was from Gigabyte, so it's, you know, legit software, stuff like that. But apparently it's caused lots of issues for a lot of people, myself included. So, system crash, not a big deal, didn't happen again until I was in the middle of recording. That was over 24 hours ago. The whole thing just completely broke. I've been fighting to get it back, had to do a system restore, then OBS started acting up. The whole thing has just went insane. So it's driving me nuts, but I've been able to recover a lot of it. The one problem is the long drive saves acted crazy. We lost everything we did. It took me a while to even be able to get the save back. Had to go find it, copy it, paste it, do all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're pretty much back where we were, with the exception of our bumper is missing for some reason. The rear bumper. Don't know what's going on with that. And the fuel that we found in that garage was gone, so I wasn't able to get it back. So, all things considered, we lost the bumper, we lost all that extra fuel, but other than that, we're right back where we were. And then, like I said, for some reason, OBS was acting crazy. It was not even wanting to view the source. I had to go through and delete every single source in OBS just to get it to even pick up the long drive. So I don't know what is going on. So now, all that being said, we're back, we're alive, we're going. We are okay for the time being. I'll probably have some work to do as we keep going, but here we are, we're back, things are okay. So, I think we were about 20 minutes in, which means this time, for me anyway, it's going to be about 10 more minutes, and we'll probably call it there. Maybe try to find us a nice place to stop up here in the next little bit, because we got really lucky finding that medium large gas station right next to the diner, which is pretty rare, finding two. There we go. Finding two buildings, especially in this seed, that close together. So I know a lot of people have went out and found some really cool seeds that have like all kinds of buildings that spawn in, have, you know, a diner spawn in right next to start. So stuff like that. So it looks like we found us a neat little spot here. A car did spawn in, but it's not one of these. So I'm not super excited. Oh, couldn't make that turn. Let's see, I don't see any rabbits. Alright, so let's go and park. Grab us these couple liters of fuel. We'll check the gas tank in this car just to see if we got lucky and it's got some in it. Nope. What about the engine or radiator? That's got oil, that's got nothing, so that's really not helpful. There's some food. Oh. Alright, there's a sled. Whoa. I don't remember if I showed you guys the sled or not. Let's see. These things are actually kind of cool. It's really neat if you run across one when you don't have any fuel with you, because you have this little sled that just goes forever. I mean, it's really slow, but all things considered, it's kind of... Don't know what happened there. It's kind of cool. So it's not really useful though right now. Is there anything inside that we need? There's some spray, sponges. I'm not saying anything super useful, so we're just going to move right on along. Doop, doop, doop. I think honestly our best bet for finding the parts we need are going to be to find one of these. And hopefully, like I said, it's going to be a variant that actually has the white stripe. So, let's see here. Next building we find, we will probably stop at, assuming we find one here in the next couple of minutes. If we don't, we might just end up calling it a day in the middle of the road, which we've done before. I usually like to end, as you guys know, at a building, just so we can kind of end looking around, seeing what's there. But if we can't, we can't. It's not a huge deal. So let's see. Yeah, we still need our instrument cluster, those two side mirrors. We're missing a visor. I think that's really it. I'm surprised we haven't lost the glove box door yet. That thing usually gets lost pretty quickly in a bad crash. But we've been lucky. That was just a rock. I'm not really seeing anything of interest. Even zooming out here, I'm not seeing something up on the side of the road. Looks like it's just a tower though. Biggest thing I'm concerned about being out like this is that a rock will spawn in and we won't have the ability to avoid it. So let's get back on the road. What is that? Is that just... Nope, that's more road. That's a rock. Okay. So nothing crazy. Not a whole lot going on right here. We just kind of have a nice flat hillless, well, not hillless, mountainless area, so pretty nice. Not a whole lot going on. I guess this is like grassland area. Car's still bouncing an awful lot, but if you notice, Christine's the car, Safiya is back, because I did not remove her yet. So, oh geez. No, there was nothing I could do. I tried to turn and that just went nowhere. Yeah, that one, I could just see it happening. Oof. Alright, come on. Let's put everything back together. I think we just lost that headlight we put in. Yep, there it is. Alright, so let's grab this. Put that there. Fix the bumper. Fix the wheel. Fix the door, that's good. Fix the trunk. Alright, I think we're set. Yeah, I saw that coming, and it was one of those situations where we were going so fast, I could just tell nothing was going to stop us from crashing right into that. So I think then, I don't see anything else. Let's just stop right here at this little baby gas station. So we're going to stop right here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We will pick up from here next time, assuming nothing crazy goes on with the videos again. We'll see. Hopefully not, but you never know what's going to happen. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Logan. This is The Long Drive, and I will catch you next time.